Hello people, I am JABY KOAY. Joining us is ACHARA KIRK.
Hi.
We're gonna look at the trailer to INDU SARKAR, directed by Madhavan, starring Kirti Kulhari and Nitin Mukesh.
राष्ट्रपति जी ने आपातकाल की घोषणा की है। इससे आतंकित होने का कोई कारण नहीं है।
अब इस देश में गांधी के मायने बदल चुके हैं।
इमरजेंसी में इमोशन नहीं, मेरे ऑर्डर्स चलते हैं। तुम जिंदगी से क्या चाहती हो?
मैं बस एक अच्छी बीवी बनना चाहती हूँ। इमरजेंसी मतलब ऐसे कैसे पुलिस निहत्थी जनता पर गोलियां चला सकती है?
मेरे घर में इमरजेंसी के खिलाफ एक भी लफ्ज नहीं। ये बच्चे नक्सल के औलादे हैं, ये यहाँ नहीं रहेंगे।
बच्चे यहाँ नहीं रहेंगे तो मैं भी नहीं रहूंगी। इस सिस्टम से लड़ूंगी मैं।
आज से आपका टारगेट 350 नहीं 700 नसबंदियां हैं। ये बहरी सरकार सुनने वाली नहीं है, हमें अब कुछ बड़ा करना होगा।
ये काम मैं करना चाहती हूँ।
भारत की एक बेटी ने देश को बंदी बनाया हुआ है। तुम वो बेटी बनो जो देश को मुक्ति का मार्ग दिखा सके।
किसी एक ग्रुप को कंट्रोल करते हैं तो कल दूसरा कोई सर उठा लेता है।
इस कुरुक्षेत्र में हाथ कांपेंगे तो नहीं?
अर्जुन के इरादे हिल सकते हैं, घायल द्रौपदी के नहीं।
सरकारें चैलेंजेस से नहीं, चाबुक से चलती हैं।
तू और तेरे संगठन के सारे लोग सारी जिंदगी जेल में घिसटते रहोगे और सड़ते रहोगे।
और तुम लोग जिंदगी भर माँ बेटे की गुलामी करते रहोगे।
That is super intense. That was just like the other trailer we watched a couple days ago.
Bad Shaho, right?
But this is way more serious.
This is way more serious. Now, I don't know anything about the state of emergency in 1975, but all I can say is from watching this trailer, I want to know more about that. The whole time I was watching it, I could just feel all the hairs on my arms just like rippling up and down my arms. It was the strangest feeling. I just found that so compelling.
There's a couple of words in the trailer I didn't understand, so
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. So Naxalite is a member of the Communist Party. Okay, so...
Oh, okay, that makes
Right.
sense. Because during that time, pretty much all over the world, many countries were having issues with communists. I know in Thailand, there were lots of protests. And of course, there was the Vietnam War going on at the time.
Right, over here in the States, the communism was intensely feared. It's not looked kindly upon in the States still, but it's not as bad to subscribe to it as it was like 30, 40 years
Yeah.
ago. You know, it was really bad. And even before then, the days of I Love Lucy, if you guys are familiar with the name of that show at all, that's an old American show that's a black and white classic for us. Lucille Ball was accused of being a communist, and as well as Desi Arnaz. They almost lost their show because of accusations of communism.
I just loved so many things about this trailer. I think the female character is really compelling. You can see how she changes across the span of the film, or the trailer, I guess. She starts off as this really meek woman and she's got a speech impediment because she stutters. Starting from someone who all she wants to be in life is a good wife to being someone with a greater purpose, wanting to do good even if it means putting herself in danger. And what I found really interesting as well was that one part in the trailer where she in the courtroom or something and then she started yelling.
She threw up those papers.
And she threw up those papers. She didn't have a stutter at all.
That's true.
Yeah.
She was
impassioned.
Yeah.
So, you know, all of that just disappeared.
You mentioned that it's a female lead, and the funniest thing is, I think that with the amount of Indian trailers that we've seen so far, for me at least, I've seen so many female leads that it's normal to me now. I don't even notice it, and I think that's a good thing. It doesn't even register that I was watching a female lead because it's so normal to me. That's more of an aside, but I'm just saying kudos to Indian cinema that they've done so many of these films where you have strong female leads that I don't even notice it anymore as much as I used to. Obviously, I still appreciate it intellectually, but it's just like as an emotional response, I didn't register it. Until you said that, then I was like, oh, right, that's true. Sterilizations, when the subtitles were going by so fast, I didn't read sterilizations properly. So he's talking about suppressing certain areas.
That's really awful if you think about it. That's denying people a basic human right to reproduce, saying that...
Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah,
how
forceful sterilization.
I didn't know that's what he was talking about. I thought he was talking about just suppressing the rebellion.
No, he's talking about taking away people's ability to reproduce. They can't have these children anymore.
So I recognized Anupam Kher and I couldn't figure out where I remembered him from. And then, of course, I looked at the IMDb and he's in Silver Linings Playbook. I was like, oh, that's right, duh. What's clear to me in the film trailer is that it very much follows the Joseph Campbell hero's journey. Are you familiar with that at all?
I hear you talking about it a lot, but it's not something that I've actually studied myself.
Joseph Campbell wrote a book called The Hero's Journey many, many years ago, or 1,000 Faces. He's written a lot of books on philosophy. He's one of the most iconic American philosophers in the last 100 years.
Okay.
And so he actually was very close with George Lucas. He lived on Lucas Ranch for a time. So he was very influential in Star Wars. Star Wars also follows the hero's journey. And the hero's journey is you have this character who's in this bubble, for lack of a better word, and then some kind of dramatic event happens that sets her on a path, or him, and in this case it's a her. There's no going back. It's like the story arc of becoming the hero.
I can definitely see that in this trailer.
She goes up against all odds to become the hero in this endeavor, in this world, in this chaos. Even though it's based on a true story, they somehow managed to create a cool hero's journey out of it. Like you were saying earlier, just to learn more about the history of India and the things that people have gone through, it seems like a film that I definitely want to check out just to educate myself more and learn what people endured during that era. I love the costuming in this. It all looks very much like the 70s. It looks very real and authentic. I like the way that this is shot.
Yeah.
The actors all feel very real. They actually don't feel like actors. With the exception of Anupam, I didn't recognize anyone else really. Even if I've seen them before, I didn't recognize them. They all felt like real people. Kudos on the casting. What's amazing to me is how powerful this woman was. Even in the face of cops, while she's handcuffed, while she's in jail, she just doesn't care. She's so passionate about her mission, about her endeavor, that she doesn't care if she's telling off these cops who people are typically afraid of. I know I'd be afraid, even with American cops, if I was in jail, I'd be afraid to tell off an American cop. Who knows what they'll do to you? They'll torture you, they'll you know, smack you with a baton.
And she does get tortured as well.
I think that we definitely have to watch this just to educate ourselves on this woman, you know, what she did for India in that era, or even, not India necessarily, but that area that this was taking place in.
Yeah, and also just to learn more about that period in history.
So you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Let us know in the comments what you think of this, how accurate you think this is looking so far to that era. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, short films, and video game related videos. I'm JABY KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.